Hello everyone, I'm Monica Moore. I'm going to be joined by Megan Cafferty on the sidelines. We are so excited about this matchup today. Georgetown leads the series 11-6-3, but none of that matters today because they are very hungry for a win. Meanwhile, St. John's looking to make a statement with their last game of the season. Let's take a look at the Big East standings so you can see why this game has such implications. Georgetown number 2 right now in the conference, but everyone is playing today. They are looking to move up. Meanwhile, Xavier and Butler looking to hang on to their spots. So let's take a look at what we have coming up later on the Big East Digital Network at 7 p.m. Xavier will square off against Butler. That's the big one. It will determine a lot of who's going to have the top seeding in the tournament. Coming up next, we'll have St. John's versus Georgetown on the Big East Digital Network.
Welcome back to Shaw Field, where the very first of the 5 matches here on Decision Day is about to get started. The Georgetown Hoyas playing for potentially their 3rd straight Big East regular season title, as well as the number 1 seed in the Big East tournament. Head coach Dave Nolan telling us his team understands that they have to win today, and they not only have the veteran leadership, but the experience to do so. As for St. John's, the Red Storm was disappointed after their draw against Creighton, knowing that they were out of the Big East tournament. However, after their last 2 games, especially, head coach Ian Stone told us he not only saw the maturation of his team, but their ability to dig deep and continue to fight, which is going to be especially important here today. Monica?
Thanks so much, Megan. Let's go ahead and meet our starting lineups for both of these 2 squads, starting with the Red Storm. They're starting back in goal, the redshirt freshman number 0, Nia Lipkins, along with Christine McBeath, Johnny Kajan, Sierra Granada, Samantha Major, Michelle Money, Madeline McCracken, Annie Weissong, Isabella Aviza, Jessica Garziano, and Kayla Nazaros. And for Georgetown, back in goal, the freshman goalkeeper Anna Leet and a bunch of seniors who are going to be impact players, Megan Nolly, Sarah Trissel among them, and of course Amanda Carolyn, the super senior, the graduate student who they rely so much on for goal scoring. Both teams taking the field. That's Anna Leet for the Hoyas in the green. The freshman, you see her statistics. She started 14 games on the year, 37 saves. And St. John's today going with their redshirt freshman, Nia Lipkins. You take a look there at her stats, 50 saves on the year for Lipkins. Of course, St. John's has also played another goalkeeper, Meredith Reinhart, quite a bit. And we may see her today as well. Paula Germino-Watnick, you see on your screen. She's number 10. She's another one of the seniors for Georgetown who is so important in terms of everything they do offensively. 6 goals, 8 assists already on the year. She is a big counterpunch to what Amanda Carolyn does out on the field. So the question for St. John's, they have gotten a lot of offensive production out of number 5, Johnny Kajan. 10 goals on the year so far. Can they find other players to step up and support her on the offensive attack? She has the bullseye on her back every single time St. John's takes the field. We are almost underway. St. John's in the red, Georgetown in their home white jerseys. And St. John's with the opening possession, looking to head up top, knocked away by Julia Lease, one of the freshmen for the Hoyas who has pushed back to play on defense due to some injuries to the Hoyas. And a foul early on, and Georgetown with an opportunity to quickly move up the field. They find Germino-Watnick over on the far side as she works along the sideline, looking to cross.
A little bit.
And now Sarah Trissel Looking through to Menta. Menta looking for Carolyn. And the Hoyas immediately trying to get Amanda Carolyn involved and using Jenna Menta and Paula Germino-Watnick, two of their strongest offensive options. The Hoyas again look for Menta, who will be called off. So an offsides call will give St. John's the possession, but you see how quickly Georgetown is getting some offensive looks in this competition and are looking to get their best weapons involved in this contest. We are going to be talking a lot today about the implications of this contest for Georgetown, but they really could not be bigger. If Georgetown wins today, they could be the #1 seed in the Big East tournament and the regular season champion, but that will all depend on what happens later today when Butler squares off against Xavier. If that game is a draw, that is the way that Georgetown could win the conference straight out. But the most important thing to the Hoyas right now, they have to take care of business. They have to put themselves in the position to win that regular season title outright. Now for St. John's, of course, they are out of contention for the tournament, but as they have a nice look up ahead, Kajan into the back of the net. It's her 11th goal on the year. Johnny Kajan has made a statement in the opening minutes. And what a counterattack by St. John's. They did such a nice job finding her. And now Kajan putting St. John's on the scoreboard. Remember, against Villanova last week, she had her second career hat trick, 5th all-time on the program's career scoring list. Now with 24 goals, she joins Kristen Burtis and Rachel Daly, is the only Johnnies in program history to record double-digit scoring in multiple seasons. What a career she has had, and of course she's only a redshirt junior. And now St. John's playing with a lot more confidence. They knew it was going to be tricky to come in here to Shaw Field for a number of reasons. Of course, Georgetown, with the postseason implications on the line, it's Georgetown's home field. They have a lot to play for today, and you really have to credit St. John's for coming in strong in the opening minutes of this contest. I know their head coach Ian Stone has to be very happy with the way that his team has come out. He told us when we talked with him earlier in the week that they're a young team, and so you don't really know sometimes how they're going to come out, especially to face a team like Georgetown at home. And they have done exactly what he wanted them to do, which is to find Kajan early on. This is going to be Jenna Menta on this throw for the Hoyas. And her throws are so impressive, better than a corner kick in some respects, and that one will sail out of bounds. And it will be a corner kick coming up for Paula Germino-Watnick and the Georgetown Hoyas. Germino-Watnick usually takes these corners from the left side if she is in the contest. They have Nizelek over for the short ball. Germino-Watnick looking to send it inside. Nally racing in. Cleared away by St. John's. This is Kajan looking to work around Trissel. And Kajan, nice idea, looking to hand off to the middle, looking for Annie Wysong. Nizelek will push the other way for the Hoyas. And this is Sierra Granada on the throw for St. John. She has been very active early on the right side defensively. Coming out of goal is Lipkins. And now Lipkins waving her players up the field. As we talked about, 51 saves on the year for Nia Lipkins. Germino-Watnick looking to settle. This is Menta. Once again for Georgetown, she has come on very strong in the second half of the season. Hoyas once again looking for Jermino Watnick, and you're going to see that all day long. They like to run things through her. And this is going to be another throw coming up for Jenna Menta. So you're going to see Georgetown pushing Megan Nolly up. She is one of their center backs, but for these long throws and on set pieces, like corner kicks, she is often pushed forward. She is very dangerous, can get her head on the ball. Menta looking for Trissel. And good pressure by Richards. So this will be Lipkins once again. Georgetown getting some chances, just have not been able to put anything on frame as they are looking for the equalizer after that early goal scored by Kajan. Lipkins on the goal kick. And this is Menta now in the center of the field. Royson, one of the wing backs, pushing forward for the Hoyas. And now Royson over on the far side looking to send the ball into Jenna Menta, knocked away. Well defended by St. John's.
I can't see my coach.
Jermino Watnick now finding Nizelek. Carolyn defended by Samantha Major. She is one of the captains for St. John's. And she has been a great story for the Red Storm. Really in her first few years, didn't get as much playing time. But Coach Stone told us now she's really at the top of that starters list. She is such a huge component of everything. St. John's is doing Royson deflected. Richards pushing forward to pressure. And we've been talking quite a bit about St. John's head coach Ian Stone. There he is in his 26th season with the Red Storm. Has done an amazing job with this program, winningest coach in St. John's women's soccer history. And now St. John's once again on the counterattack. They have Kajan pushing forward. This is McCracken in the middle of the field. She is one of the facilitators for St. John's. A nice look again, thinking about Kajan. You see her pushing forward. And that call is going to go against the Hoyas. And a nice look there at Georgetown head coach Dave Nolan in his 16th season. And his Hoyas known for their remarkable consistency over the past few years. Have really done so many impressive things, putting their name in the conversation with programs like Stanford and UNC. Florida State. And now St. John's once again pressing forward. This is Lease. Another nice ball by the freshman that Dave Nolan calls the Swiss Army knife, and he calls her that because she is so versatile out on the field, can do so many different things. Started the season playing in a more of an offensive position. They've moved her back because they have needed another player on that defensive back line, but she can play everywhere, so aggressive. Came to Shaw Field and on day one was ready to compete. Nice job by McCracken. Once again, McCracken thinking about sending one ahead to Kajan. She is that playmaker for St. John's. Facilitates so much of what they're trying to do in the center of the field. Menta. This is Lease looking for Richards. And Richards, just a little too much on it for Carolyn to get a piece of it. So Casey Richards, she's another one of the seniors for Georgetown. According to Dave Nolan, she's really their best two-footed player, can execute very well with her right and left feet. Livingstone looking up ahead. This is McBeath, another one of the captains on this squad for Ian Stone. Granada knocked away by Nally. And now Richards back to Lease. So Georgetown once again trying to create, looking for Royson, pushing up on the right side. Royson with all that speed, finding Jermino Watnick, who draws a lot of attention. Trissel will send one over the back of the net. And Georgetown with a lot of seniors on this squad. You see Jermino Watnick right there. All of their accolades, 77 wins, most by a Georgetown class. That includes Amanda Carolyn, who's a fifth-year student. 36 wins in Big East play, 2 College Cup appearances, 3 Big East tournament titles, and 5 NCAA tournament appearances. We talked about that consistency that really has been the hallmark of this Georgetown program. And a lot of that can be attributed to these seniors. Such a special class. They have really seen a lot, they've done a lot, and have just established and continued to establish an expectation of excellence for this program. That foul will go against the Hoyas. And this is Major. Has a couple of goals on the year to her credit. Livingstone looking to Jermino Watnick. But of course, the player today that has made the biggest statement is Yanni Kajan. And let's throw it down to the sideline to Megan Cafferty for a little bit more on Kajan.
Thanks, Monica. In talking about Jani Kajan with Coach Stone, he said as much of a powerhouse and attention that she gets on the field, Kajan is more of a quiet and reserved player off the field. Coach Stone was joking around and saying, remember Rachel Daly, the Red Storm's career record holder in goals with 50, who graduated in 2015? He said, well, Jani is nothing like her. Rachel loved all of the attention that she was getting, and you wouldn't even know that Jani is leading her team in goals with just how humble and quiet she is off the field.
Thanks, Megan. And of course, Kajan has gotten all the attention from opposing teams' defenses this year, and what has been so impressive is that she has racked up 11 goals so far on the year, looking for another one. Knocked away by Jenna Royson, looking up ahead to Carolyn. Granada playing the ball back, Menta looking to pressure. And it will be Georgetown's possession. Livingstone on the throw. Major constantly thinking about Kajan. And what a week Kajan has had. Top Drawer Soccer's Team of the Week. She was an honorable mention for those honors. Getting national recognition after her hat trick against Villanova. Scored 4 goals in 2 games last week. And this is Jermino Watnick. Well defended by Annie Wysong, the redshirt sophomore out of Bel Air, Maryland. As Jermino Watnick trying to keep the ball in play. It will be St. John's possession. Just about 15 minutes into this first half. Georgetown really controlling time of possession, but the best chance has been by St. John's, and Jani Kajan buried it in the back of the net. And And this is Kajan, defended by Trissel. Nice ball looking to McCracken in the center. They switch sides. Money trying to work around Royson, cleared away by Julia Lease. Nice idea by Carolyn trying to stretch things out. Royson pushing forward, has Menta up top. And now Menta looking to work around Major. Richards just could not get there, knocked away by Annie Wysong. They go back to Richards. Richards. And it will be St. John's ball. A good chance for the Hoyas. Just off on the angle. And now Paula Germino-Watnick again getting involved. Germino-Watnick in the back of the net. She ties things up. Georgetown on the scoreboard, and we have had quite a soccer game so far here from Shaw Field. That was a highlight reel worthy goal right there by Germino-Watnick, going top shelf for her 7th goal of the year. That brought this crowd to their feet. And now Georgetown with some momentum in this contest, and St. John's looking to regroup. So both of our players to watch are on the scoreboard. Johnny Kajan with the first of the competition, and now Paula Germino-Watnick with the equalizer. And it's really interesting because she is a player who puts so much pressure on herself. Dave Nolan and I have talked about it all year long. She has wanted to do the absolute best she could for this team, and really realizing she had some big shoes to fill with the graduation of Kira Caruza and Caitlin Farrell, to name a few from that roster last season. She has played extremely well for Georgetown on the year, and the one thing you notice every single time that you watch her take the field, it's 110% all the time. She never lets up on a single play. She is so creative, so talented, so technical. And that was a monster goal for Paula Germino-Watnick. Granada, another nice ball up ahead. Livingstone looking to clear, finding Germino-Watnick. And Lipkins is there for St. John's. Lipkins taking her time, surveying her options. And a nice long ball. Battle for possession in the midfield, which is always so important, and is something Georgetown puts such an emphasis on. Again, you see St. John's looking for Kajan, and Kajan very smart. She did not want to be offsides, was biding her time. This will be Lease for the Hoyas. Julia Lease already 4 goals and 3 assists on the season. And again, now she's playing more of a defensive role. But at times in the game, if Georgetown needs an offensive spark, you may see Dave Nolan move her up top. Nizelek. Cementa. And now Richards. Again, looking for Germino-Watnick. Trissel. Switching over to Lease, who has pushed forward. And now Lease looking to cross. And it's going to be a throw coming up for Jenna Menta. Nolly will push forward again. So they're going to push up. Megan Nolly and Sarah Trissel. Julia Lease and Kellyanne Livingstone are going to hang back. Menta on the throw. Jermino Watnick was hoping for a corner. It's going to be a goal kick. We'll get our first substitute of the contest. Coming in for St. John's is Addison Hornsey, the redshirt freshman out of Baldwinsville, New York. She will replace number 15, Annie Wysong. And this again is Nia Lipkins, the goalkeeper for St. John's. Jermino Watnick looking to possess the ball. We'll get a handball call on St. John's. Georgetown quickly getting the ball back into play. Royson looking to earn a corner. It will be a goal kick coming up once again for Lipkins. Dave Nolan shouting instructions from the sidelines. And now Lipkins will put the ball back into play. Kajan looking to connect with Addison Hornsey, who is just into the contest. Jermino Watnick. Granada working back and forth with McCracken. It will be a throw for Casey Richards. She'll find Carolyn. Jermino Watnick looking up ahead to Menta. Back on defense is McBeath. And it will be a goal kick again for Nia Lipkins. Georgetown continuing to generate offensive chances. This is what the Hoyas do. They own time of possession. They look to control the midfield. And of course, they are so dangerous on set pieces. That is one thing that opposing coaches always want to try to limit. And they're so important to defend. Nizelek for the Hoyas. Looking for Menta. And Menta earns the corner kick for the Hoyas. Exactly what she wanted to do. Very smart by Jenna Menta. So once again, Paula Jermino Watnick will head over for the Hoyas. Jermino Watnick with the cross, punched away by Nia Lipkins. That was a big play by the St. John's goalkeeper. Menta looking to reset. Well defended. And now Lease looking to send the ball up ahead to Menta. And Menta again looking for that corner kick. Postseason tickets are now available for 2 Big East Fall Championships presented by Jeep. For tickets to the Big East Women's Soccer Championship semifinals and final in Omaha, Nebraska on November 7th and 10th, head to www.bigeast.com/WSOCtickets. For tickets to the Big East Field Hockey Championship hosted by Quinnipiac, November 8th and 10th, head to bigeast.com/FH-tickets. So Georgetown creating a lot of chances over the past few minutes. This is going to be a corner kick coming up for Casey Richards. So these corner kicks usually taken by Boo Jackson, who is not available today. So Richards, and that one will go to the inside. So Casey Richards getting the start today. Again, she is one of the seniors for the Hoyas. Jermino Watnick pushing forward. Carolyn over to Trissel. And now Richards. Livingstone once again looking for Richards. Richards on the cross, the corner kick for the Hoyas. And it's going to be Jermino Watnick again. And so Livingstone will push forward. Nolly will push forward. Royson and Trissel will hang back. And Nizelek over for the short ball. Jermino Watnick once again knocked away, well defended. Lipkins doing a nice job defending these set pieces. Livingstone looking for Lease over top of the net. A nice idea though by the defender, the center back. And that's actually two of the defenders connecting for that opportunity. Kellyanne Livingstone and Julia Lease. So this will be Lipkins once again for St. John's. Two very young goalkeepers back in the net today. And Ian Stone thought her style of play really suited this matchup against the Hoyas. He said she is good at handling crosses and throws, and we have seen that today. That has definitely rang true. Hornsey looking for Kajan, an important piece of St. John's game as these players trying to connect up top with Johnny Kajan. This is Lease with the long ball. McBeath back to defend, knocked away by Major. Royson looking for Nizelek. Carolyn looking to turn. And a big play right there by Sierra Granada, the redshirt freshman defender. Hoyas looking to regroup. Lease looking to Menta. Georgetown working the ball back and forth. And really this St. John's defense has had to work extremely hard in this contest, as much of the play has been on their end of the field. But where St. John's can take advantage is what we saw early on in this contest, is the quick counterattack with the long ball up ahead to Kajan. Nice idea by Menta, just no one there. And once again knocked away by Granada. Livingstone pushing forward, could not keep the ball in bounds. Several substitutes coming in. Number 27, Sophia Ambrosio, the freshman out of Cranford, New Jersey, coming in for St. John's, and Sophie Fox, the freshman out of Williamsburg, Virginia, number 13, coming in for the Hoyas. And Sophie Fox, of course, she is another one of the offensive weapons for the Hoyas. This is Carolyn looking to break free. Jermina Watnick off the assist from Amanda Carolyn. We knew that those two players were going to have to be big today for Georgetown. What an unselfish play by the super senior Amanda Carolyn on the pass to Paula Jermino Watnick. And now Devin Liss will come into the contest for Georgetown, number 8. 2 goals on the day so far for number 10 out on the field, Paula Jermino Watnick. And once again, let's check back in with Megan Caffrey.
Monica, the 2 goal scorers for the Hoyas, seniors Amanda Carolyn and Paula Jermino Watnick, lead the Hoyas with 28 and 22 points respectively. And Coach Nolas told us those 2 forwards are who he considers the 2 goal scorers of his team. They rely on them. In contrast to last year, he said, when the team had 4 goal scorers, including All-American Caitlin Farrell and Kira Carusa. And Coach Nolan told us that Amanda and Paula, they feel the pressure of being goal scorers. And he knows it's a tough task to ask them to rely on them so much, but he said those 2 seniors do such a phenomenal job at it. Monica?
Thanks so much, Megan. It is certainly true. Those 2 players have had a lot of responsibility this year, and they have handled it extremely well. The Hoyas hoping to have some other players step up as well. We just talked about Sophie Fox coming into the contest. She had the equalizer against Creighton several weeks ago. This is Carolyn once again pushing forward. And that foul will go against St. John's. 16 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this first half. We have had 3 goals scored. And Georgetown, a little history there, coming from behind. 1 win after trailing this year. That was a big one against an extremely underrated Princeton team, where Georgetown came back and won in overtime 4-3. I talked with Dave Nolan after that contest. He told me they felt very lucky to win that contest because that Princeton team is exceptionally talented. Georgetown was down 2-3 in the second half. They scored the final 2 goals of that contest. I was here for that game. It was a battle from start to finish, and let me tell you, Princeton is an outstanding team that, in my opinion, just does not get as much recognition as they deserve. So this is St. John's. 15 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in this first half. St. John's looking to tie things up before the half expires, and Anna Lee is there for the Hoyas, the freshman making the play. This is Lease once again, and Dave Nolan leaving both Jermina Watnick and Carolyn out on the field, really realizing that this is an important game right here for Georgetown, leaving those 2 dynamic offensive players out. As opposed to sending in subs. St. John's, meanwhile, will send in another substitute. This is number 26, Grace Bernardi. She will replace number 19, Jessica Garzano. Kajan looking over to Granada. He has had to be very involved on the afternoon so far. And now Fox coming over to pressure Aviza. Trissel coming over to pressure. St. John's will switch sides of the field. Major will find Granada. And now McCracken looking to make something happen in the middle of the field. She has been so critical to St. John's success this year as well. Helps them build from the back. And now Jermina Watnick to Fox. Georgetown possessing the ball, trying to get another good offensive chance as they have owned time of possession in this half so far. Looking up to Richards, just a little too much on it. Once again, Dave Nolan directing traffic from the sidelines, trying to get his players lined up the way he wants them. Kajan looking to turn, double teamed, drawing so much attention out on the field, and it is hard not to command a lot of attention after what she has done on the year so far. Lease tripped up by Ambrosio. We've talked a lot about Kajan on the day so far. Of course, she's the top scorer for the Red Storm with 11 goals. Major has 2. Cabrera a goal and 2 assists. And of course, Garziano, another freshman phenom with 4 assists already on the year for St. John's. They're a very young team. They have a lot of young talent. And that, of course, has been part of the challenge. We we talked with Ian Stone earlier in the week. They're very pleased with what their team has been able to do as of late. They've really showed a lot of growth and a lot of progression. You look at that Villanova game where they gutted out that win, and that really is the right word, to win in overtime, 4-3 over Villanova. Really showing just how far they have come this year, really a statement win for St. John's. And meanwhile, Bernardi looking to pressure. Nally looking for Jermino Watnick. And now Lease just could not keep the ball in bounds. Brooke Boyd looking to enter the contest for St. John's. She is going to replace number 10, Michelle Money. Brooke Boyd, a sophomore out of Silver Spring, Maryland. She will be on the left side for St. John's. Jermino Watnick. Have that call go against her. And now another substitute coming over for St. John's. Cabrera waiting to check in. Nice idea by St. John's, looking to switch sides of the field where there is a little less of a presence by Georgetown, and Leet once again will come out for the Hoyas. She will quickly put the ball back into play and find Livingstone. Long ball down the field by Livingstone. And Samantha Major will let that head out of bounds, and a goal kick coming up for Lipkins, which will give Maya Cabrera a chance to check in for St. John's. Caitlin Moon will check in for the Hoyas. And so Kajan will come out of the game for St. John's. And of course, I think a strategic decision here to get her some rest, because she is going to be huge for St. John's in the second half of this contest. They are going to need her. Looking for her to get back on the scoreboard, knocked away by Livingstone. And the ball slowly rolling out of bounds. And it's going to be a corner kick for the Hoyas. Not what St. John's expected. And this is going to be Paula Jermino Watnick. Once again for Georgetown, she has taken a good number of these corner kicks on the afternoon. Jermino Watnick with the long ball. A nice try by Livingstone. Nally getting a piece of it. Lipkins coming out to make the play. A number of Hoyas touched the ball, just no one able to put it in a dangerous position. Really another nice play though by Livingstone. She is so big on these set pieces. Really a huge part of what Georgetown does offensively on those chances. Carolyn in a battle with Major, and now Carolyn looking to work through several defenders. Tracking back was Bernardi. And now Cabrera with a nice play. Livingstone with the takeaway, looking up ahead to Jermino Watnick. And now Livingstone right to McCracken. Good pressure by St. John's, knocked away by Lease. St. John's would love to get another offensive chance of their own, as it has been all Georgetown since that first goal by Paula Jermino Watnick. That really was a statement goal by a senior And let's take a look at the leading scorers for Georgetown. We've talked a lot about them on the afternoon so far. Of course, Amanda Carolyn at the top of that list, 10 goals, 7 assists. Paula Germino-Watnick, 8 goals, 8 assists. Julia Lease, the freshman, 4 goals, 3 assists. And Boo Jackson, a goal and 9 assists. She's gotten a lot of those assists on corner kicks. Has been huge on the set pieces. And Amanda Carolyn, meanwhile, just checked out of the contest. And again, I think Georgetown getting her some rest before the second half gets underway. Fox looking up ahead to Vicari, who just came into this contest for Amanda Carolyn. So a lot of youngsters now out on the field for the Hoyas. Sophie Fox, Caitlin Moon, Devin Liss, Gia Vicari, all coming in off the bench. Germino-Watnick with possession, looking up ahead to Vicari. Vicari, the shot saved by Nia Lipkins. Great idea by Paula Germino-Watnick. You saw those staggering statistics for number 10, Paula Germino-Watnick, 8 goals, 8 assists on the year. She can certainly score goals. She can also set up her teammates, and she has 2 on the afternoon so far. This is Nolly. Preseason Defensive Player of the Year, Vicari, once again up top for the Hoyas. What a play defensively. A little problem with spacing there for the Hoyas as Germino-Watnick looking to break free, defended by McCracken. And now Richards looking to reset, pressured by Hornsey. Nolly looking over to Lease. Broken up. Now Georgetown looking to clear defensively. We'll find Livingstone under 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Georgetown certainly playing like a team with a lot on the line. St. John's certainly playing like a team that wants to make a statement at the end of their season. Liss knocked away. And let's go ahead and recap how we got to this point. The first goal of the afternoon scored very early on in this contest by Johnny Kajan to put St. John's up by 1. But the Hoyas, the answer by Paula Germino-Watnick. It was a statement goal in the upper corner, and then she scored another one off an assist from Amanda Carolyn. Germino-Watnick just heading out of the contest to get a brief rest. Coming in for the Hoyas was Maya Fernandez-Powell. Hoyas keep knocking on the doorstep. Lipkins, a bit of a dangerous play there. And they are going to call it a corner kick. And so this is going to be Maya Fernandez-Powell on this corner kick. Germino-Watnick is not currently in the game. Fernandez-Powell on the ball. Nally looking to connect. Liss looking over to Richards. And now Moon on the counterattack. Fox over to Liss. Liss! Vicari! And another nice play by Lipkins. It will be a corner kick coming up here for Maya Fernandez-Powell. Georgetown with several chances there. Vicari with a good one. So Fernandez-Powell will take this opportunity. Ball being headed back and forth. Lease getting a piece of it. Moon looking over to Livingstone, too much on it. It will be a goal kick coming up for Nia Lipkins, who has been under fire as of late. The redshirt freshman doing a nice job, and we certainly want to remind you that the action does not stop at the conclusion of this one. We have all the games going on later this evening and tonight. Marquette versus DePaul, Providence versus Seton Hall, Villanova versus Creighton, and of course the one with the biggest implications of them all is Butler Xavier at 7 o'clock. What a Halloween we have on slate here for you today. Richards looking to Vicari. Trissel working around defenders. Richards on the ball, knocked away by Nia Lipkins. A nice strike by Casey Richards under a minute remaining in the first half. And of course, you are not going to want to go anywhere. You will want to stay tuned for halftime. Megan Caffrey is going to perform the impossible. She's going to get on a train, head up to New York to do a segment in the studio with John Fanta before heading back here to Shaw Field, because who would want to miss the second half of this one? Can't wait to see Megan Caffrey going into the Hyperloop. And it will be a goal kick coming up here for Nia Lipkins, who again has performed so well under pressure in this first half.
3, 2, 1.
And Lipkins will put the ball back into play, and that will do it. What a first half we have had here at Shaw Field, and it is only going to get better. Georgetown, implications on the line. St. John's looking to go out with their season with a bang. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with halftime. Your score, Georgetown 2, St. John's 1.
John's University, our students believe, serve, explore, and achieve. A Catholic, Vincentian, metropolitan, and global university, we are at the heart of where lives are enriched. We provide a transformative education that goes far beyond the classroom. We aspire to do more. And for nearly 150 years, the St. John's story has been the story of New York City. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
It is halftime here at Shaw Field. Let's throw it up to the studio with our fall update with Megan Caffrey and John Fanta.
Welcome into the Big East Fall Sports Update. John Fanta and Megan Caffrey with you here as we are getting all set for the final day of the Big East women's soccer regular season.
Decision day. There's so many storylines in this conference, and we came into this year, Megan, thinking this is Georgetown's until someone takes it from them. The Hoyas have won the last 3 Big East tournament titles, the last 2 Big East regular season titles. Here's what you need to know that will have you excited for the Big East women's soccer tournament, that could lead this championship to be fascinating. Georgetown, they're now in a fight with Xavier and Butler. But the one team that's taken them down is not one of those teams. That's the DePaul Blue Demons.
How about it?
It's crazy. So that tells you that Georgetown, they might not have the same top-tier talent separation. It would lead you to believe that we could see a new champion rise next week in Omaha. But first, we've got to decide a regular season title.
And I think the really interesting thing, John, is when you take it back to this time last season, the Hoyas had already clinched regular season berth and the #1 seed in the tournament with still a game left to play. So now this just stresses 3 points, all the more for the Hoyas going into their match tomorrow.
Georgetown hosting St. John's, rivalry renewed between Dave Nolan and Ian Stone. And for this Georgetown team, it's Amanda Carolyn who stirs the drink for them. She's got 10 goals on the year now after scoring against Seton Hall, 1 of 4 on the day. And you think about Carolyn and Paula Germino-Watnick. Germino-Watnick, such a great facilitator with her 6 assists on the campaign. These two do so much, and I just look at these seniors. That's what wins this time of year. Georgetown's got a dynamic duo. They know that the pressure's on them because Georgetown, they need to get 3 points to put the pressure on Xavier and Butler tomorrow. A Xavier team that controls its own destiny but has to go to the Selleck Bowl against those Butler Bulldogs.
And you just mentioned it right there, going to the Selleck Bowl. As we take a closer look at the Bulldogs, John, they were the runners-up these past 2 years going against the Hoyas, another senior-led team that has a lot of experience in this field especially.
Butler has been the bridesmaid in the Big East tournament the past couple of years, and they just haven't been able to get over the top against Georgetown. But for this Dogs team, they're so defensively stout. That's what this program continually calls on. For me this year, the biggest difference is Anya Savage. It's Soderstrom. They've found ways to get other scores, and when you've got that versatility offense.
St. John University, our students believe, serve, explore, and achieve. A Catholic, Vincentian, Metropolitan, and Global University. We're at the heart of where lives are enriched. We provide a transformative education that goes far beyond the classroom. We aspire to do more. And for nearly 150 years, the St. John story has been the story of New York City. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
Welcome back to Shaw Field. Let's go back down to the sidelines and check in with Megan Caffrey for a quick update.
Thanks, Monica. As you can see, Sierra is getting taken off the field right now, and the trainers are all out there working on her. It looked like it could have been something with her left knee, her left leg. She's in a lot of pain as she's getting carried off right now. Tears of just, you know that she put it all out there on the field, and to get hurt in the last game of the regular season, you can only imagine what's going through her head right now, and I'll keep you updated if we hear anything else.
Thanks, Megan, and that is certainly true. Sierra Granada really tried to gut it out, stayed on the field earlier, and just, you could tell, impossible to keep playing at this point, even though she desperately wants to be out there with her teammates. We wish her all the best and certainly hope for good news about her condition. So right now, 26 minutes, 29 seconds remaining in regulation. We are all tied up, and of course, we will go to overtime if it requires. So, of course, St. John's has a lot of the momentum right now. They have the equalizer and have really come to play here today. Georgetown had it all, and now St. John's has taken a lot of that away. We'll see if the Hoyas are able to come back once again and get another goal. They did that in the early minutes of this contest, but you have to give so much credit right now to St. John's. They have come into Shaw Field with absolutely no fear to make a statement. This is going to be another corner kick coming up for the Hoyas, and you get another look there at Sierra Granada. And again, she looks to be in quite a bit of pain, getting a lot of attention right now from the training staff. And certainly hate this for her. Another corner kick for the Hoyas, punched away. Deja vu. Jermina Watnick has the ball taken away by Addison Hornsey. Jermina Watnick takes it right back, looking up ahead. Livingstone still pushed forward, will cross it inside, punched away by Nia Lipkins. And that, again, has been her signature move today. It's going to be another corner kick. As we see another look there at Sierra Granada and the medical staff here. And again, just wish her our absolute best. All our thoughts are with her. Casey Richards on the corner. And Livingstone just over top of the net. It was a good strike by Kelly Ann Livingstone. So close for the Hoyas. As Madeline McCracken is going to come back out, Nia Lipkins really has been the player of the hour for St. John's. She has been under fire. She has punched away so many of these opportunities for the Hoyas. She has played exceptionally well. I think her team has to be so happy with the performance that she has given on the afternoon. She is a massive storyline in this contest right now, and she is a big reason that this score is all tied up 2-2 when you think about how much of a lopsided look it is when you look at the shots and the shots on goal in this contest, how many the Hoyas have gotten. What a day for Nia Lipkins. Again, a redshirt freshman out of Bloomfield, Connecticut. And the future very bright for St. John's in terms of its goalkeeping. This is Nizelek looking up ahead to Carolyn. Ball knocked away. Carolyn looking to play it back. McCracken. And now McBeath. Ball up ahead. Knocked away by the defense. Megan Nally with possession for the Hoyas. Nally over to Richards. Richards to Jermina Watnick. Jermina Watnick has Royson. Royson to Carolyn. Carolyn called off. An offsides call against Sophie Fox. And one of the best chances Georgetown has had in this second half. And the Hoyas are called offsides. This is Lipkins. Livingstone pushing forward for Georgetown. She is pressured by Addison Hornsey. And it will be St. John's ball. A throw coming up for Christine McBeath. Coming onto the field for St. John's is Jessica Garziano, the freshman midfielder out of Melville, New York. Maya Cabrera also coming back into the contest for St. John's. Richards pressuring. Richards, the long ball over top of the net. And it will be another goal kick coming up for Nia Lipkins, who has played outstanding in this contest for St. John's. Several Hoyas pressuring Annie Weishong. And this will be a throw coming up for Jenna Royston. And Royston's actually going to be pushed back to the midfield line. Carolyn. Nice ball wide. Wysong. Nally back on defense. We'll play the ball back. This is Livingstone. Fox trying to pressure Lipkins to knock the ball away. Trissel to Royson. And it will be a Georgetown throw as Julia Lease will push forward. Actually, they're going to let Royson take this throw for Georgetown. So Lease to Royson. Knocked away by the defense. 20 minutes remaining in regulation, all tied up. 2 goals for Jermino Watnick. Fox! And it will be another goal kick coming up for Lipkins. Nia Lipkins, who has been under fire, as you get a nice look there at Kajan on the sidelines, getting some water.
I hit the tripod, my bad.
She has been absolutely huge today. Jani Kajan, a goal and an assist, has been a part of both of the goals for St. John's. Fox in a battle with Isabella Eviza. Gia Vicari waiting to check back in for the Hoyas. This is Jermino Watnick. She already has 2 on the afternoon, trying to work around McCracken. And now Livingstone will push forward with a nice run, knocked out of bounds. It will be a throw coming up for the Hoyas. Vicari will check in. She will replace Sophie Fox.
Number 4, Gia Vicari. Replacing number 13, Sophie Fox.
Georgetown looking for Jermino Watnick. And now Nizalek working on the far side. Livingstone looking to Jermino Watnick, who is such a great asset to this Georgetown team. She can facilitate, as that one will go to the inside, and it will be a corner kick coming up for the Hoyas. Jermino Watnick is going to take this over on the left side. So once again, Megan Nally and Kelly Ann Livingstone will push forward. Nice ball by Jermino Watnick. It just goes over top of the net. Just a little to the inside. And so a goal kick coming up for Nia Lipkins, who has been the standout today for St. John's. All tied up 2 apiece. The first goal by Kajan to put St. John's up by 1. Paula Jermino Watnick scoring 2 in a row, and then the equalizer for the Red Storm scored by Alex Madden. Trissel looking to Vicari. And now Trissel looking to Royson. Wysong looking to connect with Money. And now Royson with a little room to operate. Royson looking to cross. Good defense once again And now Lise pushing forward for the Hoyas. This will be a throw coming up for Isabella Aviza. She's another one of the standout freshmen for St. John's. Really has that ability to be both a forward or a defender. And she's one of just 2 players on this St. John's team to start every single game this year. And it will be another goal kick coming up here for Nia Lipkins. Brooke Boyd waiting to check back in for St. John's. She will come onto the field and replace Annie Wysong.
Number 3, Brooke Boyd. Replacing number 15, Annie Wysong.
So Nia Lipkins, who continues to be battle tested on the goal kick for St. John's. Lise. Shannon Moore on defense. Vicari looking over to Richards. Richards looking to cross. And another goal kick coming up for Nia Lipkins. Georgetown getting a good number of chances here. Just not able to find the back of the net in this second half. And you have to give so much credit to Nia Lipkins. She has constantly been under fire in this second half, and she has been the difference maker. And that call is going to go against the Hoyas. 13 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this second half. And again, when you look at the statistics, 15 shots for the Hoyas, 2 for St. John's, but the 2 for St. John's, all they have needed in this game to keep things all tied up. 13 corner kicks for Georgetown on the day, so many chances for the Hoyas. But a big storyline has been Nia Lipkins. She has knocked away so many of those corner kicks. This is Boyd for St. John's, looking over to Aviza. Aviza, nice ball, leap there for the Hoyas. Leap over to Lise. And a long ball by Lise, just none of the Hoyas are there. Vicari looking to Jermino Watnick. Now Nizelek in traffic. That was Jessica Garziano on defense. Carolyn. And Madeline McCracken continuing to do such a good job in the middle of the field for St. John's. Caitlin Moon will come into the contest for Georgetown. She will replace Jenna Royson. And Johnny Kajan back out on the field for St. John's. She will replace Alex Madden. So the 2 goal scorers, one will come in, one will come out. And for the Hoyas, desperate for the win, they are going to count on those senior leaders. Let's throw it back down to Megan for a little more on that.
Thanks, Monica. Down here, you can hear all of the players interacting with one another, calling out things, but one player in specifically that sticks out for the Hoyas is Amanda Carolyn. And Coach Nolan told us she is one of the leaders on this team, but uniquely about the Hoyas, they don't have any captains this season. He said he likes to have his team lead by committee, and you really just see the leaders naturally come from the seniors as well. Monica?
Thanks so much, Megan, and that is going to be so critical for Georgetown coming down the stretch, as they are going to need that calming presence of those seniors, players like Amanda Carolyn, the super senior, the graduate student, Paula Germino-Watnick, of course Megan Nally, who really is that voice on the defensive back line, Carson Nizelek, Sarah Trissel, who are so steady in the midfield. They have a lot of seniors, a lot of leadership. Kajan. A nice ball by Cabrera, looking to send the ball up ahead. Time starting to run down in this one. Megan Nally with the ball for the Hoyas. Nally. And what a play by Trissel, but it will be St. John's ball. Under 10 minutes remaining in regulation, a throw coming up for Brooke Boyd.
No, I know it was legal. But when you hear her head hit the ground, that's hitting hard.
St. John's looking to make something happen. As we talked about, they have only had 2 shots in this contest. They are the 2 shots that have found the back of the net. It has been all they have needed to keep this game tied up. But of course, what a way to finish their season, to get a win here on Shaw Field. They would love to put another one in the back of the net. Looking for Kajan. She is back on the field, got a little bit of rest. And of course, the other storyline today for St. John's, the injury to Sierra Granada, the redshirt freshman who has played so well up until that point where she had to leave the field, did everything she could to try to stay out and help her team. Knocked away by Nally. And Megan Nally with possession for the Hoyas. Another throw coming up for St. John's. Jenna Menta will check back in and replace Gia Vicari. Jenna Royson will check back in and replace Caitlin Moon. Brooke Boyd back in for St. John's. She will replace Shannon Moore.
Replacing number 4, Gia Vicari.
Richards with possession, looking up ahead to Menta. And you can see Menta looking, trying to make sure she is on sides. Well defended once again by St. John's. They have battled so hard defensively on the afternoon. As we've talked about, their defense has been under pressure for the vast majority of this contest. And Nia Lipkins under pressure, having to make a play. Jenna Menta, a throw coming up for the junior. And again, Megan Nally pushing forward. So this will be Menta on the throw. And now Menta with possession, looking over to Trissel. Richards with Royson on the right side. Royson deflected off several players. And now Lease back to Nally. Nice ball by Livingstone, knocked away by Boyd. Jermino Watnick to Richards. Richards. Lipkins is there. Perfect position. Nia Lipkins has had such a contest for St. John's, really proving she is up to the test here today.
Ooh.
And that foul will go against Brooke Boyd. Lease for the Hoyas, 5 minutes, 27 seconds remaining in regulation. And if we are all tied up at the end of regulation, we will go to overtime. It will be golden goal. 2 overtime periods. We do not have penalty kicks in the regular season. So if at the conclusion of overtime it is still a draw, that will be the result. And then the Hoyas will just await what happens in the games later today. And of course tomorrow as well, we are going to have our eyes on the Marquette DePaul game. Cleared away by Shannon Moore. And now Richards with possession for the Hoyas. Kajan with the ball. She is so dangerous. Looking up ahead to Cabrera. Megan Nally tracking back. And this will be a throw for Julia Lease. And they're going to whistle this back. And time starting to run off this clock now, under 4 minutes remaining in the contest. Georgetown looking to clear. Kajan looking to create. Nally. Up ahead is Shannon Moore, and that will sail out of bounds. It will be a throw coming up for Royson. Royson trying to get the ball back into play, just does not see an option. Looking for Carolyn. And once again, Lease back for the Hoyas. Royson pushing forward. And Moore has had to be very active for St. John's. Kajan looking to take over. Good spacing by the Hoyas. Menta looking to get a step. Menta looking for Carolyn. A chance for the Hoyas, could not convert. Richards. And now Richards will play the ball back to Livingstone. Jermino Watnick trying to work through traffic. And it has been difficult to do in the second half. This defense for St. John's has played very well. Lease pushing up for the Hoyas. Nizelek over to Royson. Time continuing to wind down. Royson looking over to Richards. Lipkins is there for St. John's. And once again, Georgetown not able to get the chance they wanted. And Lipkins taking her time. Nizelek over to Royson. Finding Menta
1 minute left in regulation.
on the right side. Menta deflected under a minute remaining in the second half. A throw coming up for Jenna Menta. Megan Nally once again pushing forward. Kajan in a battle with Lease. And now Livingstone finding Menta. That's Avisa back on defense. She is only a freshman. Number 18 out on the field. She has played exceptionally well today as what she has been under
10,
pressure.
9, 8, 7,
Nizelek.
6, 5, 4, 3,
And that will be
2,
played back.
1, 0.
And we'll end regulation. We are headed to overtime. We'll take another quick break and be right back. You're watching Big East Women's Soccer on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
When my time came to start coaching, I was very fortunate that I didn't have to go cold turkey. I was able to start the Big East Conference, and we came across the sky like a meteor.
One recruiting year that they had that really turned everything around was the Ewan Mullen recruiting year. It changed the face of Eastern basketball probably forever.
We just believed in ourselves and a lot of hard work on everybody's part.
Every March, Madison Square Garden is home to everything that is college basketball.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
How's the weather? Yeah. It's snowing out. It's a blizzard, but we ain't gonna stop.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Under the serious moonlight.
I think rightly there were questions early on about whether the Big East could withstand the test of reconfiguration, and I think if you were here, we've done that more.
It's a monster league now. Last man standing, bring the flag. Tough to coach in, but great for spectators and great to play in. The march of the Big East goes on.
Welcome back to Shaw Field. We promised you a good one, and this game has delivered. Let's take a look at how we got here. It started off with Johnny Kajan scoring the first. Paula Germino-Watnick had the next two, and then Alex Madden in the 62nd minute scored the equalizer to bring us to overtime. And look at that shot differential, 15-2, but for St. John's, it is all they needed to push this game to overtime. Let's check back in once again with Megan Caffrey.
Thanks, Monica. For the Hoyas, this is just their fourth overtime in the last 5 games. Their last overtime was the DePaul game where they did lose. However, they're playing at home, and the last overtime game that they had at home, they ended that in a draw. So we'll see what goes on. The Hoyas love playing here at home, and hopefully you have home field advantage come through in that sense. Monica?
Thanks so much, Megan, and that is true. Georgetown does love to play on this field, but I have to say for St. John's, the way that they have performed, they have a lot of momentum, and you get inspired by the way that your goalkeeper plays. And Nia Lipkins, again, she has been the standout among standouts to me today. The way that she has played, absolutely no fear. She has been under fire for most of this competition, and she has performed so well for her team. That has really inspired her defense and her offense as well. That was a clutch goal scored by Alex Madden. That's only the second goal of the season for Alex Madden. This is the third straight overtime game for St. John's, and I have to tell you, I imagine one of the big things that Ian Stone was talking about at the break was that game against Villanova when his team gutted it out against a good team and got the win in overtime. Can they do the same thing here today? Germino-Watnick looking over to Trissel. Georgetown looking to come out and make a statement early on in this overtime period. 10 minutes on the clock. Again, if we are still tied at the conclusion of this period, we will have another 10-minute overtime period. And if we are still tied after that, that will be the conclusion of the game. There are no penalty kicks during the regular season, so it will end in a draw. But right now, Casey Richards set to take this corner kick for Georgetown. Georgetown has had a number of corner kicks, and a lot of them have been punched away by Nia Lipkins. And that one, once again, will sail over the net. And a goal kick coming up here for Lipkins, who I've talked so much about. I could not be more impressed with Nia Lipkins and the way that the redshirt freshman has played today for St. John's.
I didn't know you were on me, my bad.
Liss looking forward to Carolyn. Carolyn trying to connect one more time with Paula Germino-Watnick. Trissel crashing in, could not make contact, cleared away by the Red Storm. Pushing the other way is Addison Hornsey. Hornsey pressured by Livingstone. And now Nizelek to Germino-Watnick. Germino-Watnick looking to work around defenders. She will find Royson. Royson only a sophomore. It's really been a breakout year for Jenna Royson. They have asked a lot of her as she is tripped up in the box. And this is a difficult sign for Georgetown as Jenna Royson is slow to get back to her feet. So Royson now back up on her feet. So this is a big call right here as Georgetown waiting to see who's going to take this for the Hoyas, as we're going to have a penalty kick coming up for Paula Germino-Watnick. So earlier in the season, Carson Nizelek took 2. This is going to be Paula Germino-Watnick looking for the hat trick, looking more importantly for the game winner. Jenna Royson's going to leave the field. Caitlin Moon set to come back in, but right now all eyes are on number 10 out on the field, Paula Germino-Watnick, the senior. 8 goals, 8 assists on the year, and perhaps one of the biggest chances right now of her career here at Georgetown, because so much on the line for this team that she helps lead. Germino-Watnick in the back of the goal, a hat trick for Paula Germino-Watnick. The Hoyas will win their final game of the regular season here at home in overtime. What a goal by Paula Germino-Watnick. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Georgetown head coach Dave Nolan. With Paula Germino-Watnick, my apologies. We'll be right back. You're watching Women's Soccer on the Big East Digital Network.
Our students believe, serve, explore, and achieve. A Catholic, Vincentian, Metropolitan, and Global University. We're at the heart of where lives are enriched. We provide a transformative education that goes far beyond the classroom. We aspire to do more. And for nearly 150 years, the St. John story has been the story of New York City. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
Thanks, Monica. Paula, it all came down to you with the final kick. You line up. What was going through your mind?
Honestly, I was thinking about the team. I was thinking about our season, how everyone had worked so hard, and I didn't want to let anyone down. So I really just wanted to score the goal and just hopefully we can help us win so that we could win the Big East, win the regular season.
And when you're thinking about your team in this season, how would you put into words what this year's Big East season was like for your team?
It was definitely a challenge, but we were prepared for the challenge, and I think we did really well. And I think all we could ask of ourselves in each game was, like, can we just come out, play our best? And I think we worked as hard. We gave 100% every single game, and I don't think we ever came up short on effort.
And for you, your senior season, to come up big, how much did you rely on all the experience that you've had throughout your entire career to come up in this moment and really win it for your team?
I had seen, like, amazing players before me do it. Like, I've seen Rachel, like in the past 2 years ago. I always saw her just so calm and collected, so I was trying to emulate her, trying to emulate Caitlin and Kara, who graduated last year. So that was what I was, thinking of.
And it's Halloween. Are you going to go out tonight and celebrate? Are you dressing up?
Yes, I'm being incredible.
There we go, with all the superpowers, right?
Yeah.
Paula, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Monica? Well, certainly fitting, because Paula Germino-Watnick was nothing short of incredible here today. That will do it for us here from Shaw Field. We want to wish you all a happy Halloween. For Megan Caffrey, I'm Monica Moore. Your final score here from Shaw Field, Georgetown, 3-2, the winners in overtime.